Have you heard of our Ronvoy?
No, I haven't.
We have a great organizer. Several of them actually. Rome's in the chat room here at revolutionbroadcasting.com is one of them. RevMarch S. Wolf is one of the organizers. Let's see here. I think it's Typo Kitty, I believe. And she's not in there right now, or whoever that is. Kathy, I think her name is. But there's several of the Ronvoy organizers in our chat room that you can communicate with. They have organized an incredible web-like convoy of vans that will converge on Washington, D.C. for our rally, and are helping to allow for everyone to go to a place, like me, I'm in California, going to D.C., plane tickets go up higher than, faster than gas prices now.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Granny is also selling her bus, her RV, not after the July Insurgents. She's going to one more that she hasn't said anything about yet. I believe it's the
St. Paul.
St. Paul. But she's selling her RV afterwards to whoever wants it, with all Ron Paul's signature and everybody else's signature and all her cool little pictures on it.
eBay it.
I think she's going to sell it to a Ron Paul supporter just on her website, grannywarriors.com.
Wow. So here's what I want to say. If you can maybe encourage Granny Warrior to to contact maybe some of our Ronvoy organizers also.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll call her tomorrow and tell her I talked to you guys.
That way, because what they're doing is awesome. And perhaps this can become like a loose institution, or a group that continues to help. Oh, her name is Jackie.
Well, to make you feel better, only
they can continue to help move these freedom-loving, Constitution-loving people to get them to the conventions, year after year, election after election year, rally after rally.
To make you feel better, only 1,000 people at the most came to the rally in D.C. I was kind of discouraged, but at least 1,000 came.
It was kind of, the timing was not quite. It was exciting because Ron Paul had announced a revolution or a march on Washington, but it was so soon. It was almost too soon, and it really was like it felt a little bit like letting the air out of the balloon before you got it blown up all the way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But in California, you can see the Ron Paul blimp, did you?
Nope, I didn't get to see the Ron Paul blimp, but I get to talk about it a whole lot.
The blimp was awesome. It was huge. When I went to the debate in Myrtle Beach, it flew all around the building that the debate was in, and people all over Myrtle Beach can see it that day. It was huge.
Wow.
And
wow, I love South Carolina. I haven't been there since 2006, but
you all did a good job.
I love it there.
I put 300 signs in my county alone, and we got a whole 5% vote for Ron Paul. And I tell myself, if I didn't put those signs, maybe we only got 1%. Who knows?
Wow. And I I didn't do 300 signs, but I did about 300 hours on Ron Paul radio.
Yeah, I listened to Ron Paul radio a lot back in November, December, and January.
Oh, really? That's when I started listening and started doing the shows.
Yeah, after the primary in South Carolina on January 19th, I pretty much didn't listen to it too much anymore unless it was in a big event like tonight.
Well, it wasn't until after the Las Vegas rally that I realized how important the canvassing is. And one of the like you did the Ron Paul DVD, one of the things that was really successful in Nevada, besides all the canvassing they did, because they're driving into Vegas and looking at the the skyline of houses, it was incredible, all the houses, all the people that could be reached. but there was a program all over the nation actually, but it was real successful in Nevada. It's called the Operation Call for Paul.
Oh yes, I actually talked to that guy the other day.
Which one?
He was the guy that does Call for Paul.
Which one?
He was doing that for 2 cents a call, which is really, really cheap.
Yeah, there's several people doing it. Which one were you talking to?
Oh, the guy in New Hampshire, I believe it is. I called him for the same thing that I was telling you about tonight, was to get more patriots to have money in their pocket.
Uh-huh.
And I was wanting to see how much it would cost me to have him do that. But we sent money to Call for Paul, too. Call for Paul also, from the Ron Paul Toolbar.
Oh, right on. Yeah, that was a very cost-effective donation.
Yeah.
The greatest, we've had some of the most ingenious, creative, and efficient use of money, and we've had to, because we didn't have the big donations from the big donors. We had individuals donating $20, $50, $100, $200 at a time,
Right.
and to the campaign. So, and it was just little bits and pieces all put together that made the great big bang and then the big boom on our money bombs. And the same thing we did with the book bombs, with the and ingenious ways of maximizing the money, like donating $10 to Operation Call for Paul, allowed us to reach like 1,000 people or something like that.
Right. Well, just like you mentioned, Call for Paul, they were doing it for 2 cents a call, and this is coming just from supporters. But Ron Paul, his campaign, was paying another company 8 cents per call, and that kind of irritated me on how they spent the money.
Well, that just shows you how successful this movement was, and how successful free market is. Because instead of having employees who work for an institution that tell you what to do, and don't really care about anybody, or they're just trying to get the job done. Instead of that, you have people doing what they do because they care, and they do it well because they're doing it from their heart. And that's how we do it. That's how we do it in this movement.
Used to be Steve Vincent, but now it's Jim. I don't know Jim's last name, but when I called the other day, I talked to Jim, and Jim is a true patriot.
Right on. There's a lot of true patriots. Yeah, that's the way we do it around here. We don't wait for somebody to tell us to do what we need to do. We do what we need to do because we
believe that's the thing to do.
We believe in it.
Yes,
and
believe in it.
And then we end up doing it well. We end up doing it for free. We do it a lot better than somebody who is paid to do it can do it. Just like the campaign hiring somebody to do the call for Paul operation when we did it better.
They paid 8 cents a call when you guys did it, or when Jim did it for 2 cents a call.
Right, and I say we, I mean all of us are really together in this because we all worked really hard to not really even worked. It was just we poured our lives into it just because that's what there was. There wasn't anything else.
Right.
And,
let me make one more plug.
Please.
RonPaulToolbar.com.
RonPaulToolbar.com, and the other one?
Just the RonPaulToolbar.com. If you get the Ron Paul Toolbar, it gives you all the news from Daily Paul and the guy in Arizona. I forget that guy's name. Ron Paul Forums, Ron Paul 2008, Ron Paul Graphs, the Volunteer, Freedom Phoenix.
Freedom Phoenix. There you go.
But it gives you all the news from all of them if you download RonPaulToolbar.com. And when you search on Ron Paul Toolbar, the money that is gathered from the Ron Paul Toolbar, you can vote on where it goes, like the Granny Warriors or Ron Paul Radio or wherever you guys want.
Well, my vote goes for Revolution Broadcasting.
Yeah, Revolution Broadcast.
And the Revolution March. Actually, we could use some donations to both, but
That's another one you can go for.
Here at
It's a great tool to have where you don't have to do anything. All you got to do is search, and everybody searches anyway.
Here at Revolution Broadcasting, we could use about, 200 and so more donations, more dollars in donations. Okay. Listen, I have another call coming in. So why don't you go ahead and give us that other website real quick before I let you go?
It's lookbetterforever.com.
All right, and
that's the number 4, lookbetterforever.com.
All right, and I thank you for coming on the show and all your hard work in the movement, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, have a great night.